And now, it's Boomer Life, lifestyle discussion designed to make your life more engaging, meaningful, and complete. Celebrating the baby boomer generation, this is Boomer Life on CIL 650.
If I had $1 million, well, I'd buy you a house. I would buy you a house.
Another day, another dollar, right? Welcome to Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton. A well-thought-out plan for your financial future is an integral part of building the life that you want for yourself and for your family. On Boomer Life today, we're talking about your financial future with Jim Doyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group. Jim holds a number of designations as well. He is a certified financial planner, a chartered life underwriter, a registered trust and estate practitioner, a certified divorce financial analyst, as well as a certified international wealth manager. You might have read one of his articles as well. Jim has had articles published in the Financial Times, the National Post, the Province, the Vancouver Sun, and he's a frequent contributor to Business in Vancouver. Jim has appeared on City TV. He has been on the Bill Good Show, as well as the Family Matters television series on Czech TV with Judge Harvey Brownstone, speaking on wills and estates, as well as family, finances, and divorce. Jim, welcome to the show. We have launched right into 2015, and we've got a lot to cover today, so we're going to jump right into the meat of it. There's multiple strategies for building wealth and achieving financial security. However, what do you think are the true secrets to success in the financial markets? It's a toughie right off the bat.
Yeah, it is. We live in an age of customization, where the things that we buy are tailored to our personal financial needs. Okay, odds are you're used to a great deal of personalization and want to feel you have good investment options to choose from and that you're in charge of your financial future. Here's the catch. My role as an advisor is to help you understand and feel good about your choices, but also to cut out some of the noise connected to making good financial decisions. For instance, if I watch the Business News Network and all they're talking about is Greece and what's happening with the price of oil, it's pretty hard not to pay attention to it, and it can have a big impact on causing you to second-guess your investment choices. Every week it seems there is a new economic event, political issue, currency issue, or something to be concerned about. This, unfortunately, can cause you to lose confidence when it comes to creating a long-term financial plan that you're comfortable sticking with. I want to help people feel more in control of their options and confident they're making the right financial choices by helping to put issues in context to their overall financial situation.
Unless you've been living under a rock, I think it would be pretty tough to miss the fact that the markets have shown a little bit of volatility this year. So when it comes to making investment decisions, how does one handle that fear of uncertainty?
What an interesting several weeks we've had in the markets since mid-December. The challenges as I see them are that when we face market uncertainty or market volatility, people's confidence goes down and they're easily overwhelmed, making it really hard to make the choices sometimes that need to be looked at. Our experiences shape our view of money and investments. We need to frame investment decisions in a way that will increase the likelihood that you're going to stick with your plans even when markets are jumpy. Without this framework, it's possible there's a number of investment choices that could hurt your portfolio performance, including things like trading too much or selling your winners early or your losers late. This can be hard to do as we're often hardwired in the way that we make our choices.
So, Jim, when it comes to seeing our investments perform better, maybe it's more important to look at investing habits. Why would it be better to work with an advisor rather than trying to go it alone?
I think that one of the reasons we're often challenged when we measure success is that when we discuss investment goals and the importance of investing to achieve that goal, we focus on the amounts that we've made rather than how close or how far we are from achieving that goal. In talking about investment goals, I think advisors should explain how they'll help clients stay invested in strategies even when portfolios seem to be suffering market dips. When a client is paying an advisor to work on their behalf, It's possible they think that the advisor can control everything that occurs, and that's just not the situation. Advisors are called upon to be an anchor in times of crises. Having discussions before periods of volatility can help you figure out how you're going to react to certain outcomes and how you're hardwired. Knowing how you make your investment decisions sometimes is as important as what investment decisions you actually make. Together, let's make 2015 the year you take charge of your financial picture.
You betcha. We're setting that goal right now. So when it comes to people's money and investments, do you have some ideas for helping people actually getting down to the brass tacks and setting up that action plan?
I think we start a new year. We're really ambitious, maybe a little bit too ambitious sometimes. But if your focus is divided, I think it's hard to get substantial progress on everything if you're trying to do too many things. I think to make it more effective, we need to make things simple. Pick a few goals that really matter. For your goals to succeed, you need a plan of action that must include the hows and whys.
So you must have some steps in place to help us build our confidence to help ensure that we're going to be successful when we set this goal.
You know, in the business market, there's a critical thinking process that includes a SWOT, S-W-O-T, which is a strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threat analysis. And I think for most investors, that's a lot of work, and they prefer an easier approach. So one way we can help is to explore their long-term vision and take them through an exercise and ask them to describe what does it look like for you in 3 or 5 or 15 years. The more detail, the better. And we ask what strengths do you bring to the table and what things can you do for yourself and which ones do you need help with. From there, we want to consider additional aspects of your financial picture, from goal setting to asking what's important for us to know about your goals, to what tools do you have to achieve them, and what things might limit your ability to achieve them. Only then can we further the outcome by talking about things like cash flow planning, how do you make your investment choices, and how do they fit into your plan. We talk about risk management, those are your insurances, and your review process. And we want to encourage people to avoid falling in love with their investments. Those investments have a job to do. And of course, estate planning.
That's true. We have learned in the past about emotional attachment and leaving it out, and we'll get to that topic again. But what about those people who say that they can't save because they're paying down too much debt?
Yeah, I hear a lot of this, and it's becoming a bigger challenge. What I really want to ask people is what's important to you? If your focus is on paying down debt, then chances are savings might not be a priority. And we've said this before. Once I get out of debt, I'm going to start saving.
Is that kind of like trying to lose 5 pounds, or I'm not doing anything until I lose 5 pounds? Along the same kind of lines?
That's a tough one. When we're talking about reducing the use of credit or coming back, or cutting back, it's going to take some effort. Working closely with a financial planner can help you keep on track. For most successful investors, managing the use of credit is an essential skill to master.
So when we talk about getting out of debt, it appears to be a really tough task for a number of Canadians. A lot worse that we've heard south of the border. But why do you think we have trouble with that?
Well, while I'm not an economist, I think when we have an environment of low wage growth, more people feel it's difficult to get ahead financially. Additionally, changing habits can be hard to do when people focus on pleasure now versus some benefit in the future. I think for behavior to have an impact, it needs to be simple. It needs to be something that you can easily manage, and it needs to be an action that you'll do over and over again until it becomes a habit. Remember, your goal should be to make your better behavior as easy to incorporate into your life as possible.
It's funny that you mentioned the pleasure now syndrome. I'm just wondering, are we living beyond our means? It seems to be really easy to get a line of credit and live off of it, and I know a number of people that do. So here's the skill testing question for you. Should you pay off debt before you start saving? You must get asked that a lot.
Well, do you fix the symptom or do you fix the habit? Okay, I think that's a tough question. And a lot of people wrestle with this, but it really comes down to your priorities. I'm not saying this works for every individual, but I like to look at a balance of the two, some debt reduction combined with some regular savings. A lack of an emergency fund can keep you tied to a vicious credit cycle. And if you can't get out of debt, well, we kind of know what that looks like. Unfortunately, I think an awful lot of people wrestle with this their whole lives. So getting cash management right, your cash flow planning, okay, that's really essential to achieving long-term financial success.
Now, I don't want to give away all your secrets, but I have learned over the last 5 or 6 months that we've been together that you're a little bit picky, you're a little particular, especially about the clients that you're working with. And I have learned that about you. Why is this selection process so important to you when you're taking such great care in selecting the clients that you work with?
I think if you agreed to take a client on, you need to live up to that commitment. But it's about managing expectations. I spend a great deal of time cultivating relationships with clients and asking lots of questions so I can get to know what their expectations really are and whether I can help deliver them. I want to know how they take advice and what investment experiences that they bring to the table. And not every investment relationship is going to be right for both of us. So we'd like to take the time at the start to make sure that that fit is in fact right.
I like the fact that you said you ask a lot of questions. I really think that's an important quality. Many investment advisors work with a portfolio minimum. Do you have one of these?
I really enjoy working with financially comfortable families, individual and businesses. And as such, my portfolio minimum is $250,000. But we're not firm on that, especially when I'm asked to take someone on, through a referral if I could help them out. Clients deserve a reasonable assurance that I'm spending a significant portion of my time looking after their situation and ensuring that I'm available to them when they need me. Part of what I bring to the table with clients is helping them understand what type of investments might fit their situation now and in the future, helping them make informed choices around which path might best suit their needs, with transparency around fees, costs, and alternatives.
I can say from my own personal experience that financial discussions and just the thought of putting together a financial plan can be, well, a bit overwhelming, maybe completely overwhelming for some. Please tell our listeners about your approach.
You're not alone. It's my responsibility to explore expectations and outline how the relationship will progress. And this includes how your accounts will be managed, what fees you'll be charged, what safeguards are in place to manage risk. Understanding behaviors that impact your comfort level are essential to building trust. So when we talk about taking a conservative approach to managing your money, this doesn't mean the same thing to all people. And while the goal might be to help you live comfortably today and protect your legacy for the future, the way that you go about it needs to be tailored to reflect each individual investor's particular needs and understanding. We add value through integrity, our core values, and the way that we practice. Now, this might seem a little bit old-fashioned, but I like to do what I say I'm going to do. I believe you need to devote time, energy, and focus to really help people. I'm dedicated to my own ongoing professional development because I want to ensure that I'm current and that I'm relevant. And I'm committed to educating clients and building their financial literacy. The more you know, the more you can do with a greater degree of comfort. And we need to have a strong understanding of the client's values, wants, and needs. And finally, we support financially comfortable families with an understanding that family dynamics are complicated and often connected when conflict arises due to money issues. So we need to take a tactful approach to these sensitive matters. In the end, clients want to know that they can count on our experience to help them get through their challenges.
And I think one of those challenges that people face is they're simply not comfortable with their basic financial knowledge. How do you address this?
This is a lifetime ambition. A lifetime ambition.
Send us to financial school.
As we mentioned before, there's a lot of information out there, and this is where clients really need our help when it comes to sorting out what information is relevant to their situation. I think we can add real value by educating clients and communicating clearly and concisely, addressing risk management, and setting reasonable expectations from the start. Imagine the outcome if communication looked like this. These are the things that you need to focus on and pay attention to. And these are the things you should ignore and not pay attention to.
Well, you make it sound so easy. Do you ever work with your clients' accountants or lawyers? And why do you feel it's sometimes important to work with these other professional advisors?
I want to strive to achieve the best outcome for the people that I work with. And some of these best outcomes happen when I get the most from the financial planning team that they work with. And this includes the tax, legal, and financial people. For those that are focusing on asking their investment advisors to mostly help with regards to investment selection, I think they could be missing out. A collaborative approach is a great value add when all sources of planning are seamlessly integrated into a client's overall financial situation. It seems really important to understand that all of the best planning in the world gets lost if it's not implemented.
Thanks, Jim. Sounds like you need great people to help implement your plan and ensure that you're staying on track. You're listening to Boomer Life on CL 650. I'm Joanne Sutton. Today we're speaking with Jim Doyle, Senior Financial Consultant with Investors Group. Financial security is a paramount goal for many Canadians. The need for advice has never been greater. Make 2015 the year that you rediscover confidence in your financial future. If you want more information and to get to know Jim a little bit better, you can go to his website, jimdoyle.ca, or give him a call toll-free, 1-800-665-7178, or at 604-682-5431. Still a lot more to come with Jim Doyle, including thoughts on something known as loss aversion and how it affects your investment decisions. And appropriate for this time of year, TFSA and RRSP considerations that you might want to look at. Stay with us on Boomer Life on CL 650.
Celebrating the baby boomer lifestyle. This is Boomer Life on CL 650.